With New York being a melting pot of cultures in all walks of life, it makes it a playground for street photographers alike. The diversity that's present allows you to experience so many different kinds of people and lifestyles. And that's one of the reasons why I developed a love for street portraiture. By challenging myself, it's given me a bridge to cross over to help me interact with the people of the world. So without wasting time, let's get straight to the point. This is my experience taking street portraits in the city that never sleeps. Hello world, it's Passport Kenny checking in. Thank you for taking the time out of your day, night, or afternoon to tune into the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. Around these parts, we cover everything from travel tips to videography tips, gear review, and the such. And today, I will be sharing my thoughts on taking street portraits in New York City. So as stated in my Taking Street Portraits in Tokyo video, which you can check out in the card above and the description down below, the steps that you take prior to even having taken any photo of any kind is of utmost importance. See, in the realm of the New York Minute, street photography is like a game of preparation and timing. So you definitely want to be covered in both those areas. One of my main problems is, like, I'll see somebody that interests me and, like, I'll just automatically start thinking, what if they say no? So usually I'd start with approach, but I feel like having a clear mindset will help you overcome any obstacle along the way. See, the thing is, taking street portraits, especially of strangers, is never really easy. As a matter of fact, it can be quite nerve-wracking, especially if you're not from NYC, where the pace and the chaos can be overwhelming. But I think the point is to remind yourself of why you're doing this. I remind myself that I'm doing this to gain confidence in my people skills, my photography skills, and to help me connect with the world around me. Sometimes I'll even listen to my favorite chapter in an audiobook, or my favorite song, or even a recording of positive affirmations that I've made for myself just to get into that mind frame. So whatever it is that you can do to gather your step, gather your confidence, and smoothen out the process, definitely do it. For example, it's currently January in New York City, so it's mad breakout. Like, my face is practically frozen. So I kept on telling myself, like, who's gonna stop in the cold to have their portrait taken by a stranger? Well, after a couple snaps later, here I am having collected some street portraits in January, and I've proven myself wrong. So all in all, the point is to stop overthinking and just go for it. Excuse me, sir. Sorry to bother you. My name's Ken. Good afternoon. I'm a photography student. I was wondering if it was okay with you if I were to take like a portrait of you for my project? So if you speak English or any multiple languages, because New York City is quite diverse, then the approach should be a little bit easier. Now, if you don't speak a lot of English or have difficulty doing so, then it may be a little bit tricky, but I feel like you'll be fine as long as you practice. So feel free to pause the video right here as I share my verbal approach that I often use that has gotten me results. Feel free to read it to yourself, insert it into Google Translate, or even change the words to your liking. Because remember, this is not the only definitive approach. This is just the approach that I have made for myself that I have gotten comfortable with. I was wondering, is it okay if I want to take a photo? No. Okay, it's okay, thank you. So this part is not the most important, but it's definitely the most impactful. If somebody tells you no, it's not the end of the world. Just say thank you, have a good day, and keep it moving. I'm very familiar with the anxiety, embarrassment, and often shame from being told no. But give yourself some more credit, because the fact is that you tried, and that's of utmost importance. I feel like being told no is one of the best things that can happen to you as a street photographer, because it helps you develop that thick skin that is often needed. It's very humbling, and it makes you appreciate the yeses more. So if you get told no, it's okay. Don't let it cripple you. Just go on and focus on the next photo. Because remember, for the most part, the worst a person can do is say no. On the other hand, if you get told yes, congratulations. Use your knowledge and work your camera magic. Of course, though, it just doesn't end there. Engage in some conversation with your subject. I find that it eases the two-way interaction. And for me, it's the most rewarding part of the process. Not necessarily getting the yes or the portrait, but getting to know another human being. So ask them what their name is, where they're from, and what they love most about the city. Also, remember to take multiple photos. Don't just be one and done. It increases your accuracy of getting that one great photo. After that, choose the one that you find most pleasing and show it to your subject. Compliment them. I feel that it helps put them at ease over the fact that a complete stranger just asked to take their portrait. I mean, it sounds crazy, right? Feel free to exchange info on how they can get a hold of you, or your contact info just in case they wanted to work with you for future reference. Now, there's something that I must address, which is always a touchy subject, and that's paying for street photos. I don't generally believe, at least in westernized countries, that you have to pay for street photos. Use your judgment though. There's nothing wrong with giving your subject a little something for their time, but also beware, because some people will lure you into thinking that it's okay for you to take their portrait only to demand some payment after. If you do find yourself in this situation, tell the person and show the person that you're going to delete that photo off your camera and promptly remove yourself from this situation, because no portrait really is worth that amount of hassle. Now, if you don't know where to start, I suggest trying the neighborhood that you're staying in or that you're living in. If you'd like a good sample size, head for some of the major parks like Union Square Park or Washington Square Park. It's a great way to get your confidence up, because you'll be surrounded by different types of people, which means there's a good amount of opportunities to ask. I say wherever there's people, you're good to go. Anyways, let's head back for the final word. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that your shooting experience in New York turns out to be fruitful. As with any other place or project, the opportunities are only as abundant as you make them. With something like street photography and street portraiture, it actually just requires that you go out and shoot. So go for it. Don't let your anxiety, fear, or concern cripple your desire to experience and capture the world. Anyways, I cannot thank you enough for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for even more content just like this if you haven't already. If you've had any experience shooting in New York City or have future plans to come to the Big Apple to do so, or have any questions that you would like to ask, feel free to leave me a message in the comment section down below, and I'll be glad to get back to it as soon as I can. Anyways, always remember, where there is a will, there is a wayfarer. Until next time, Passport Kenny checking out.